everyone, and welcome back to episode 3 of our statue review series, where in today's episode we're going to be taking a look at this incredible statue of Itachi Uchiha. Now, for those of you who have somehow never heard of this character before, Itachi Uchiha is one of the last surviving members of the Uchiha clan from the Naruto series and is a member of the Akatsuki clan, which is known as a terrorist organization in that series as well. Now, you might have noticed that I said he was one of the last surviving members of his clan. That's because he killed them all. The only other person who's left alive was his little brother, who he spared for reasons. If you've never watched the show, I'm not going to ruin all that for you, so go ahead and watch it. It's honestly pretty good. Just don't watch Boruto. That one's kind of trash. Now, this statue was created by Burning Wind Studio, and when I say that this thing is incredible, just look at the amount of details on this statue. I believe these types of statues are called like a diorama due to the fact that it actually captures a certain scene or action that's being portrayed within the statue, and that is a fact of Itachi utilizing his Susanoo to pretty much attack another character in the series called Orochimaru. You can see all these little serpents over here. These are parts of Orochimaru himself. Now, for the longest, I've been trying to get my hands on a good Itachi statue, and I've kind of gone through, I believe, 4 of them so far. One of them, which was called Itachi Uchiha, and that was because I got it from Wish. Don't judge me, I was young and broke once. And then there were 2 other statues that I got. One which I got from a convention, and another that I got from someone who was selling on Etsy because they said they made it by themselves. But turns out that both of those other statues were knockoffs of other created statues similar to this one. So pretty much none of those ended up meeting the needs that I wanted, because Itachi is easily my favorite character, hands down, of all time. Itachi was like one of the first anime characters that I really fell in love with, and that was why I wanted a statue that I knew I would be proud of to showcase for this character, and that is this one. Here you can see they pretty much captured Itachi's Susanoo damn near perfectly. This is basically a half Susanoo form, fully featuring the Yata mirror and the Totsuka blade as well, which is currently penetrating one of Orochimaru's serpents. And then you can also see that Itachi himself was utilizing some of his Amaterasu, which is depicted by the black flames that are all over this base. And of course, an Itachi statue would not be complete without all the crows that also more or less represent his genjutsu, and one of these crows even has a Sharingan as well. Now, to have the incredible scene that they put together for the base of this statue with Itachi himself, they did also pay a lot of attention to detail. I want you to check out his eyes. You can literally see the amount of detail that they put with his Mangekyo Sharingan, the Hidden Leaf Village headband that he's wearing, and even his ring. Now, you might notice that there's a slight blemish on the ring, and that was due to my own carelessness. So around the time when we were moving, I ended up leaving him in the sweltering Texas heat in the garage, and let's just say the ring started to melt. So I'm glad that I caught it before it got any worse, but that was my own fault, unfortunately. And I'd like to point out something just a little specially for me, and that is his toes. The fact that his toes are so well detailed, I kid you not, with a lot of these other statues that I got, when you start looking at like the fingers and the toes on them, there is literally no attention to detail at all. It literally looks like everything was just mushed together, or they just end up throwing paint on it. Atrocious. If you want to know properly made statues, every little bit of detail is perfectly crafted. Now, let's talk about some of the little Easter eggs that are on his base. You might have noticed that behind Itachi himself, you can see the Uchiha clan symbol on there, and behind the base, you can pretty much see that there are some scriptures written on here, which I remember seeing in the anime, but to be quite honest, I have no fucking clue what they say. So for anyone who's familiar with it, by all means, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what it says, as long as it ain't nothing bad. And then looking at the face of his Susanoo, you can see that they took special attention to where the eyes actually go. And we're not talking about the 2 little beady eyes that are on top. No, we're talking about the 2 yellow eyes at the bottom, which are basically in the mouth. I always found that interesting in the anime, and I do love that they actually captured that very perfectly here. One more thing that this statue has is the fact that it also has LEDs. And for this statue, the LEDs do showcase mainly on the Susanoo's body and also on the Totsuka blade as well, which honestly serves as a very nice contrast to the statue, especially since the Susanoo is positioned behind Itachi, so it kind of properly serves its place as the background. Now, when it comes to some of the extra parts that this statue had received, to be quite honest, I think they were pretty damn generous considering how much this statue initially cost. Where they give you an additional bust featuring Orochimaru emerging from one of the snake heads, because once again, the theme of this statue was the battle that Itachi was having with Orochimaru. So this was pretty cool that they gave you this. But if you notice, he does have some weird liquids on him, and my wife affectionately calling him Bukake Itachi, which of course I have to later on let her know, not the same character, but you know, that name has stuck. That's now his name. That's what we're going to be calling him. And then also they give you this beautifully detailed poster, which also doubles as the manual for putting the statue together. To be honest, this shit is so beautiful. Additionally, they also give you a replica ring of the one that Itachi is wearing, and I don't know whose fingers these were made for, but these things are massive. Then we have the additional parts that the statue came with, featuring a hat, which for those of you again who've seen the anime, you'll know that most members of the Akatsuki do wear this hat. And then also they provide you with an extra arm, so that way you can position your Itachi in a way where he is holding the hat as well. And the last thing that you receive is this amazing memorabilia coin, which pretty much showcases what number you have for the statue, which in our case, we have number 343 out of 388. To be honest, it's just such a beautiful coin, seeing as it does feature Itachi on one side, and the other side, it features the studio's emblem. And that is pretty much it for everything that this Itachi statue has to offer. And once again, to be quite honest, this is such a gorgeous statue that I was surprised I was even able to get my hands on one. Seeing as usually it is damn near impossible to find statues once they're gone out of pre-order. So I don't know what it was that made people not buy the statue, but if you're seeing this and it's still available, get yourself one. This shit is incredible.